Have you ever wondered what it takes to become a symbol of hope for millions? What drives a person to dedicate their entire life to serving the poorest of the poor? Today, we journey into the extraordinary life of Mother Teresa, a woman whose name is synonymous with compassion and unwavering love. From a small town in the Balkans to the bustling streets of Calcutta, this is the story of a true saint of our times. Born Agnes Gonxha Bojaxhiu in 1910 in what is now Skopje, North Macedonia, the young girl who would become Mother Teresa felt a calling from a very early age. Growing up in a devout Catholic family, she was deeply inspired by stories of missionaries. By the age of 12, she knew her destiny was to spread the love of Christ. At 18, she made the momentous decision to leave her home and join the Sisters of Loreto in Ireland, a missionary order. It was a journey from which she would never return home, a poignant sacrifice that marked the beginning of her lifelong mission. After a brief period in Ireland, she was sent to India. Arriving in Calcutta in 1929, she began her work as a teacher at St. Mary's School for Girls. For nearly 2 decades, she dedicated herself to educating the children of the city's wealthier families. She was a beloved teacher and eventually became the school's principal. Yet, beyond the convent walls, the stark reality of Calcutta's widespread poverty weighed heavily on her heart. The suffering she witnessed daily planted a seed for a new, more profound calling. The turning point came on September 10, 1946, during a train ride from Calcutta to Darjeeling. Mother Teresa described this as a call within a call. She felt an undeniable message from God. She was to leave the convent and live among the poorest of the poor, serving them directly. This was a radical and daunting path. It meant leaving the security of her order to venture into the slums alone, with no resources but her faith. It took 2 years of patience and prayer before she received permission from the Vatican to begin this new mission. In 1948, she traded her traditional Loreto habit for a simple, blue-bordered white cotton sari, the uniform that would become recognized worldwide. She took a basic nursing course to prepare herself for the challenges ahead, and then walked into the slums of Calcutta. Her first mission was to start a school for destitute children. With no building and no funds, she started by gathering a few children under a tree and teaching them by drawing letters in the dirt with a stick. Her dedication and love were her only resources, and slowly, help began to trickle in. 2 years later, in 1950, her small group of followers received official recognition from the Vatican as a new religious order, the Missionaries of Charity. Their mission was simple yet profound: to serve the poorest of the poor, those who were hungry, naked, homeless, crippled, blind, leprous, all the people who felt unwanted, unloved, and uncared for. They took a fourth vow, in addition to the traditional vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience: a vow of wholehearted and free service to the poorest of the poor. One of the most significant early works of the Missionaries of Charity was the establishment of the Nirmal Hriday, or the Home for the Pure Heart, in 1952. This was a hospice for the dying destitute. Mother Teresa found a man dying on the street, half-eaten by rats and ants. She took him to a hospital but was refused admission. This experience ignited her determination to create a place where people could die with dignity. She secured an abandoned Hindu temple and transformed it into a haven where the terminally ill, regardless of their faith, could be cared for in their final moments, surrounded by love and compassion. The work didn't stop there. As the needs grew, so did the mission. Mother Teresa and her sisters opened Shanti Nagar, a town of peace, a colony for people suffering from leprosy. In an era when those with the disease were shunned and feared, she offered them medical care, community, and a chance to live and work with dignity. The Missionaries of Charity also established children's homes, or Shishu Bhavan, providing care for orphans and abandoned children, finding them loving homes through adoption. Mother Teresa's work was guided by a simple philosophy: not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. She believed in seeing the face of Christ in every person she served. She would say, "Each one of them is Jesus in disguise." This belief fueled her tireless energy and her ability to touch individual lives amidst overwhelming poverty. She didn't just provide food or medicine. She offered human connection, a comforting touch, and a loving gaze that restored a sense of worth to those who had been forgotten by society. By the 1960s, her work had expanded beyond Calcutta, first throughout India and then across the globe. The Missionaries of Charity opened houses in Venezuela, Rome, Tanzania, and eventually on every continent. They ran soup kitchens, homes for people with HIV/AIDS, refugee camps, and centers for the homeless. From the slums of India to the inner cities of New York, her sisters in their simple white and blue saris became a global symbol of selfless service. As her fame grew, so did international recognition. In 1979, Mother Teresa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. In her acceptance speech, she famously refused the customary banquet, asking that the money be donated to the poor of Calcutta. She used the platform not to glorify herself, but to speak for the voiceless, bringing global attention to the plight of the unwanted and unloved. She was a powerful advocate for peace, famously saying, "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." Despite the accolades, Mother Teresa remained incredibly humble, always deflecting praise and redirecting attention to God and the poor. However, her life was not without struggle or controversy. Later, through her personal letters published after her death, the world learned that she experienced a profound and painful dark night of the soul for nearly 50 years. She felt a deep sense of spiritual emptiness and doubt, a feeling of being separated from God. The fact that she continued her work with such unwavering commitment, despite this intense inner turmoil, makes her dedication all the more remarkable. It was a testament to her faith, a choice she made every single day. Mother Teresa passed away on September 5, 1997 at the age of 87. The world mourned the loss of a global icon of charity. The Indian government granted her a state funeral, an honor usually reserved for heads of state, and people from all walks of life lined the streets to pay their last respects. Her legacy, however, was just beginning. At the time of her death, the Missionaries of Charity numbered over 4,000 sisters, with hundreds of foundations in more than 120 countries. In 2016, Pope Francis officially recognized her as a saint, canonizing her as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. But for the millions whose lives she touched, she had always been a saint. Her story is a powerful reminder that one person's commitment, fueled by love and faith, can create ripples of change that spread across the entire world. She showed us that true greatness lies not in power or wealth, but in service and compassion. She taught us to find the extraordinary in the ordinary, to see the divine in every human being, and to do small things with great love. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the life of Mother Teresa. Her story continues to inspire us to be a little kinder, a little more generous, and to look for ways we can make a difference in our own communities. If you were moved by her story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay inspired.